This is from February 1948, and the location was roughly the same place where MH370 was last seen on radar in 2014. That is, the Strait of Malacca. This place is a narrow stretch of sea between Malaysia and Indonesia. Thousands of ships from around the world pass through here. That day, the weather was completely clear, the sea calm, and the wind just as peaceful as on normal days. Along this route, several American and British ships were traveling. Everything was going normal, but suddenly, many ships present there received a strange signal on their radios.
Welcome once again to Nobels Creation Videos. Viewers, this strange signal that was received was in Morse code format. Morse code is an old-school method of communication, but it was much more reliable than voice messages. Normally, if voice is transmitted over radio, it depends on distance and obstacles present in the atmosphere, such as fog, dust, humidity, and line of sight. And when there are obstacles, the audio message does not fully reach the receiver. Either it fades away or reaches the receiver with heavy distortion.
In contrast, Morse code is a combination of dots and dashes which can be decoded on the receiving end to form a complete English sentence. The biggest advantage of this message is that it can be sent thousands of kilometers despite atmospheric interference. That day, in the Strait of Malacca, the ships received Morse code that started like this: 3 dots, 3 dashes, and then again 3 dots. And this pattern was repeated twice, followed by a long sequence of dots and dashes. If decoded from Morse code, the initial part means SOS, SOS. The full message translates something like this: SOS, SOS request from the steamship SS Orang Medan. That ships equipped with shortwave wireless contact a doctor immediately. This was the first message received. After that, without any delay, a second message arrived, and its translation was something like this: probably the second officer is dead. Other crew members are also dead. Do not give medical advice. SOS, urgent requests for help from a warship. After this second message, the Orang Maiden sent its position and then transmitted a final message, which was perhaps incomplete. In the last message, it only said, "I die," and the message ended. After this final message, a long silence followed. Radio operators on other ships immediately responded, but no reply came back. For the next several minutes, this silence continued, and all the ships that received the message realized that something terrible had happened to the ship named SS Orang Maiden. After receiving these terrifying messages, the nearest American merchant ship named Silver Star decided to head toward that location. The captain of Silver Star changed course and began moving quickly toward SS Orang Medan. At first, they thought maybe the ship was sinking or had been attacked. After several hours of travel, when Silver Star reached near the location, they saw through binoculars that there really was a ship present there. As they got even closer, the crew of Silver Star was shocked to see that SS Orang Medan was completely fine. There was no damage anywhere on the ship, nor any signs of water entering it. It was just silently floating on the water. The strange thing was that despite being a steam engine ship, no smoke was coming out of the chimney. The strangest thing was there was no movement on the deck. Such a large ship and completely silent. The captain of Silver Star could not understand anything. He made several calls over the loudspeaker. He sounded the horn, but there was no sound except the ocean waves. Finally, the captain of Silver Star decided to send a team onto the ship to uncover this mystery. When a rescue team boarded SS Orang Medan, the atmosphere inside felt very cold and there was complete silence. Then their eyes fell on the first dead body. This was not an ordinary corpse. Rather, the man's face was twisted in fear. His eyes and mouth were wide open. It seemed as if, at the moment of death, he had seen something extremely terrifying. His body was stiff and his hands were stretched forward as if he was trying to stop something. As the rescue team moved forward, they found more bodies. Bodies were scattered everywhere on the deck. The captain was dead at his position. The other officers were dead on the bridge. Even the ship's dog was found dead. The dog's death also did not seem normal. It too was stiff and its mouth was open. The most surprising thing was that none of the bodies had any signs of injury. There was no blood, no wounds, and no signs of any struggle. Only the same terrifying expression was on everyone's faces. When the rescue team reached the radio room, they found the body of the radio operator who had sent all those radio messages. His fingers were still on the Morse key, in the exact same position as when he sent the "I die" message. At this point, the rescue team confirmed one thing, that something very abnormal had happened here because there were no visible injuries on the bodies and everyone had died from fear. At this point, they decided to tie the ship with ropes and take it to the nearest port for further investigation. They had just started tying the ropes when, from the lower part of the ship, cargo hold number 4 began to release smoke. At first, it was light smoke, but within moments, it turned into a raging fire. This fire spread so quickly that the rescue team had no option but to run. They immediately jumped back into their small boats and rushed toward Silver Star. As soon as they reached their ship, a massive explosion occurred on SS Orang Medan, which scattered the ship's debris far across the sea. Within moments, that mysterious ship, along with all its secrets and those horrifying bodies, sank into the depths of the ocean. Now no evidence remained, only the testimony of the Silver Star crew members in front of whom all this happened. Because no evidence existed, many people called it a fabricated story, and some began forming conspiracy theories. Some researchers said that no ship named SS Orang Medan was ever officially registered. Lloyd's Shipping Register, which keeps records of ships worldwide, had no record of this ship. But on the other hand, researchers who believe this incident say that it was just after World War II. At that time, many ships operated under fake names or were not registered at all. It is possible that SS Orang Medan was one of them or was involved in illegal activities, which is why it was never registered. Sometime later, in 1954, Dutch newspapers published an article describing this entire incident. It also included interviews of people who had previously worked on this mysterious ship. Among them were some crew members who said that Orang Medan was used for smuggling illegal goods. When attempts were made to trace the ship's owner based on these statements, due to lack of evidence, the owner could not be identified. Years later, in 2003, the CIA declassified some secret files in which one file was related to this mysterious ship. It was a letter written on May 29, 1958 to the CIA. In this letter, along with all details of the incident, the writer mentioned that if the tragedy of SS Orang Medan is solved, it could answer many mysteries of missing airplanes and ships. Whether the CIA conducted any investigation or not, but this letter remained in secret files for 45 years and was declassified in 2003. Even today, it is available on the CIA's website. At that time, the most widely accepted and logical theory was that SS Orang Medan was carrying dangerous chemicals. Remember that at that time, World War II had just ended. Japan and Germany had many deadly chemicals. It is said that this ship was smuggling these deadly chemicals, such as potassium cyanide or nitroglycerin. According to experts, if seawater mixes with potassium cyanide, it produces extremely toxic gas. This gas enters the lungs and causes a chemical reaction leading to instant death by suffocation. This theory explains why there were no injuries on the bodies. As for nitroglycerin, it is an explosive chemical. If it is not stored properly, it can explode on its own. It is possible that the fire seen by the rescue team was the result of this chemical. Another angle is that this ship might have been carrying materials from Unit 731. Unit 731 was a terrifying unit of the Japanese army that conducted biological experiments on humans. After Japan lost the war following American intervention, the United States wanted to bring their scientists. It is possible that this ship was carrying those secret biological weapons or chemicals, and due to leakage on the way, the entire crew died. Since this was a secret mission, that is why the ship was never registered anywhere. And when the CIA declassified that letter after 45 years, people's belief in this theory became even stronger. Another interesting point is that the Silver Star crew said the atmosphere there felt very heavy. The dog's death and its frozen, aggressive posture suggests that it may have seen something terrifying. This point pushes the incident toward a supernatural mystery. The truth of SS Orang Medan is still buried somewhere deep in the ocean. We can only speculate. If we think logically, the chemical leak theory seems the strongest. Smuggling of Japanese wartime chemicals and lack of safety likely caused the deaths of those sailors. This incident is one of those few events that remind us how many secrets the ocean holds within itself. Even today, when ships pass through the Strait of Malacca, old sailors remember the story of SS Orang Medan. This story tells us that no matter how much progress humans make, we are still helpless before nature and fate. Hopefully, you will fully like and share this video. Thank you very much for your kind comments. See you in the next amazing video.